But if you try to pull anything sneaky, like 1,000 duck hunters are going to review this email, and we're all going to know like how you do your business, right? So it's like a little like subtle, like, don't mess with us, but we're also being respectful.
It's really hard to believe sometimes we're gonna make it. Success, money, and power, all that, we're gonna get it. Don't try to be like us, it's better.
Hey, what's up, duck hunters? So Magic Mark had a really good question, right? He DM'd me. He was saying that he's having trouble with his clients writing his name down sometimes on the application. I think it costs him like $8,000, right, in extra commission. By the way, Magic Mark, good job with your residential clients, man. You've really been killing it. Sometimes when we work with so many clientele, because our service is so efficient, they do sometimes forget to write our name on the application. Just rest assured, though, that you can always contact your client after the fact, right? Even after they move in, and they can always vouch for you, right? So the best way to get this done and to get compensated on a lease that you represented where they forgot to write your name down on the application, the best way to get this done is via email, right? So what I mean by email is, email is a form of in writing, so to speak, right? So everything in writing with real estate is always your best bet. So it's very simple, right? Just contact your client, because if you did get the lease, you have their basic information. So contact your client, send them a text, send them an email, ask them, hey, listen, how do you like your new apartment, right? Just kind of keep it positive from the beginning before asking them to do you a favor, and say, hey, I hope you had a really nice move in. And they'll probably say, yeah, I did. Let's say, I'm your apartment locator, I helped you. And then, after the small talk, just say, hey, listen, if you don't mind sending me an email just confirming that you did in fact work with me as your locator, I would really appreciate that, because I need to send that over to the apartment to get paid on your lease. And right, and then so like 99% of the time, your clients will not have any problem sending you a quick email. I've done this several times in my career, right? And then just send them what to actually include in the email. And it could be 1 or 2 sentences, guys. It can be like, hey, I worked with Magic Mark. That's probably not your real name, but hey, I worked with Magic Mark as my locator. He was instrumental in connecting me with your building, right? And so the point here, guys, is you send them that template over on what to write in the email. So when you're on your phone with your client, you go, hey, listen, how was your move-in? I'm glad you moved in great. That makes me happy. Hey, do you mind sending over a one sentence email over to me, just so I can forward it to the property and be compensated? They'll go, sure. And then say, yeah, I'll send you exactly what to include in the email via text. So then you just text them that 1 sentence, right? And then you text them your email address, and then now you can forward that to the property manager. Send all of the apartment information, all of the lease information. Hey, my client, John Doe, moved into unit 303 on this move-in date, November 1st, and this was the base rent amount. Because you might as well just include all of the lease information at once and say, he forgot to write my name on the application. These things happen in our industry, as you know. Here is the proof from his email in writing. And the thing is, guys, when you get it via email, the property always has your client's email within their systems, right? So that email, the client's email, along with what they say and along with your lease information, like 99% of the times you're going to get paid on your commission, right? And guys, don't sweat it like, oh no, but I'm so late, right? I've done this 11 months after someone moved in, right? You're probably asking, like, how did you forget that long? Well, it completely went over my head, and I didn't send an invoice for it because I leased so many people in a month. And so when I was going through my Trello notes one day, I was like, that name sounds really like not familiar. I wonder what happened with that lease. And I was looking through my Trello notes, and as you should be, you should be taking notes every step of the way, like I teach you guys, right? From the time they apply, if it's pending and if it's closed, you will have the notes, and it's very efficient in the way I teach it. But I was looking through my notes, and I was like, oh, I guess he got, went past the pending process and got approved. So then I cross-referenced my database in the accounting section, and I typed in that client's name, and nothing popped up. So I was like, oh, I forgot to invoice this. And it was 11 months after they had moved in. So I just simply contacted my client, said, hey, will you send me a quick email? And they were like, sure, your service was free anyways. So they're not going to have a problem with sending over an email to you, right? Then I contacted the property manager. Hey guys, we're so sorry. We had a collections issue. We actually saved this invoice in our system, but we forgot to send you out a copy of the invoice. Can I send you the information? And guys, they're gonna say yes, right? Absolutely, they're gonna say yes. So don't worry don't sweat it like, oh no, I'm late. I've been like a year late and I still got paid on a referral, right? Because guys, this is actually ideal, right? When you're asking to get paid months in advance, this is ideal for the building because they know they have to pay you, right? They know they didn't contact you. They know they didn't remind you, right? But they prefer to pay you 11 months later because they just stayed unbelievably liquid for the last 11 months before cutting out the check from, so it's not like they didn't expect it. Whenever you get a lease, there is a separate marketing and advertising budget that we get paid out of, right? So, it's all good. Don't sweat it. Just get it done, Magic Mark. Get it in writing, send it off to the manager. Now, if they're still not trying to pay you for whatever the reason is, if you're an agent, you really need to get your sponsoring broker involved because part of the money that you pay over to your sponsoring broker is for this sort of like defense, right? They need to be your job as an agent, if you're sponsored, is to close clients, okay? Especially if you're paying your broker like over $1,000 out of your commission. It's their job to handle the collections department, the accounting department, and collections. That includes having these conversations with property management and having and sending over the correct information. So what I'm saying is your sponsoring broker and the collections department, they should be taking care of this for you, right? Because that's what you pay for. So get your broker involved if you're having trouble collecting. But I would just advise before getting your sponsoring broker involved, do contact your client and get it in writing and then send them over the email template to your sponsoring broker and have them take care of that for you because that's what you pay for. So that covers that, right? How to collect on a lease that you forgot about. Now, another thing I want to talk about is, sometimes this doesn't happen often, so I don't want to scare anyone, but sometimes when we lease, in my experience, this happens a lot with Class C properties that just have like subpar staff. But sometimes when we refer over a client and they pay the locator commission on a year lease term, right? Or a 10-month lease term minimum is what I see a lot. Sometimes the property will actually give the tenant a slightly better monthly rate if they choose like a 9-month lease instead of a 10-month lease. So that way they don't have to pay the locator. Now, guys, this really doesn't work, right? Because, properties understand that if they're going to do that and the word spreads, then it's like apartment locators, we talk, right? I mean, we're our own niche inside of the industry. So, if they do that just to save like a month of commission payout, and it's not financially in a business aspect, it's really, they know it's not worth it because we're going to spread nothing but negativity to other locators, and then they're going to stop getting business, from locators as a whole. If they kind of undercut us like that and then behind our back offer the tenant a better deal if they sign like a 1-month shorter lease term. So guys, this doesn't really happen often. It's kind of a sneaky thing that I've experienced like I think 2 times ever in my 5-year career. But if this does happen to you guys, don't stress about it. Just involve your sponsoring broker and then have them take action on your behalf, because that is ultimately what you pay for if you're a sponsored agent and you're paying your sponsoring broker, $1,000 or more of your commission. They need to be supporting you. Now, if they don't support you, you can support yourself, right? And if this happens, what I like to advise is, before jumping on a phone call, right? Because your emotions might be going all over the place. You might be upset. Before doing a phone call, just send them over an email and say, hey there, looks like my client signed an 11-month lease instead of a 12-month lease. Not sure what happened there. I just would like to know if I'm able to send you over an invoice for my lease. Right. And so do that. and wait to see how they respond, right? A lot of the times, like I would say most all the times, close to 100% of the time, a property is not going to undercut you to save $1,000 or $2,000, right? Because within the real estate industry, generally speaking, we all respect each other, right? So guys, this is really rare if it was ever to happen. But if it does happen, guys, the best solution is to, don't talk to the leasing agent. Immediately send over an email to the property manager. Try to take care of this via writing. And then if the email correspondence doesn't work well, then pick up the phone and have a conversation with the property manager. And guys, stay positive. Everything in life, whenever you want something done and you want something done your way, you're never going to get it with negativity. So you have to stay positive, right? And then when you come up, when you're on the phone with the property manager and you say, and you start off positive, hey, how's it going? Are you having a good day today? Be extra nice. It's very unlikely that you're going to get a negative response, right? So like guys, the trick is to, when you start off positive, people want to kind of keep that positivity up. It's within human nature, right? So don't get on the phone, hey, why didn't you pay me? Don't do that. Just get on the phone and be extra positive. And since we're all humans, whenever someone's very positive, unconsciously, we always want to try to keep that positivity up. Right, guys? So always start positive, and sometimes you can just resolve it via a phone call. Hey, listen, I know they signed an 11-month lease. I don't know what happened there. I know you guys pay on 12-month leases, but I look forward to bringing you a lot more business. I have tons of luck closing at your nice property. So would you make an exception and pay us on this 11-month lease? And guys, they're going to say yes, right? If they do say no, the only other exit strategy or solution, right, is to contact corporate and tell them, hey, listen, we send over the client for a 12-month lease. They signed an 11-month lease. We don't know what happened there, but we would like to get compensated for our referral. And guys, corporate, they will always say yes to you, right, guys? So if you can't handle it via email, then you call the property manager. If you can't handle it there, then you contact corporate. Your broker should be doing all of this for you. So if they're not, you might want to reevaluate your sponsoring broker. But if they're not doing this for you, you can always take action yourself. Just the number one, the golden rule here with collections is to always stay abnormally positive, right? Like more positive than normal, because when you start off very positive, it's highly unlikely that you're going to get a bad response. Last thing I want to say is that trying to grow this family of duck hunters within YouTube, because think about it, guys. When our little family of real estate duck hunters grow, can you imagine whenever we're having any kind of issues with collections, they sign an 11-month lease instead of a 12-month lease, can you imagine sending over an email response to a property manager with 100 or 200 or 1,000 of us CC'd in the email? That would be pretty cool, right? And so help us grow this family, right? Refer your colleagues and other leasing agents and coworkers to join the channel, because the more of us there are, the stronger we are, right, guys? So to help you put it in perspective, in Magic Mark's situation, when his client signed an 11-month lease instead of a 12-month lease, wouldn't it be cool if we sent over an email and we said, hey there, Mr. Property Manager, I referred over this client for a year lease term. They ended up picking an 11-month lease. Not sure what happened there, but we have a lot of luck and respect for your property. We always have high closing ratios here, and we really look forward to doing more business with you in the future. Would you mind compensating me for this 11-month lease referral? I'm going to CC my team just so that we can all learn from this one experience and be properly informed on how your management company runs their business. Respectfully, Magic Mark, right? Imagine sending that email over, but now there's 200 of us, 1,000 of us CC'd. So, even though we're not aggressive about it, it shows the properties hey, listen, if you, try to pull anything sneaky, which really usually doesn't happen, but if you try to pull anything sneaky, 1,000 duck hunters are going to review this email, and we're all going to know how you do your business, right? So it's a little subtle, don't mess with us, but we're also being respectful, so pay us. So guys, let's grow this duck hunter family. And if you guys are interested in a bunch of these email templates on how I would handle, talking to certain executives when it comes to collections, just leave a comment below. If I have enough comments that are like, hey, I want all your templates, I want your templates. If I have enough of you commenting that you guys want my templates, then I'll just include a link of all of my email templates, right? So whether it's collecting, talking to the property manager, reaching out to corporate, I can just provide you all the templates and you guys can see emails written in my own words if that interests you at all. So duck hunters, definitely check out this next video because it's going to help you scale your apartment locating business to the next level. So don't miss out this next video. I'm out.